The Nightbeat starts right now.
And tonight, you know what we're going to start with? Weather. Radar is showing yet another round of rain for San Antonio, but the question is, how long will it last?
The slick roads led to a mess near I-10 and Frio today. Two 18-wheelers colliding, sending one into and over a barrier. Crews managed to clear one of those trucks from the scene about an hour after it happened, but the scene was far from clear. It took longer to get the second 18-wheeler off of that barrier. Crews had to use a crane, cables to get it back on the road. Traffic then able to use the lower level only. More than 5 hours later, crews finally able to tow the remaining trailer away. The process took crews into the night to complete this process. And as we take a live look right now with TransGuide, you can see the roadway is back open. That happened about an hour and a half ago. We have team weather coverage tonight. The night team's Lee Waldman checking in on other closures and how some people are taking advantage of all this rain.
But first, we're going to start with meteorologist Adam Caskey. And Adam, we're still seeing movement on the radar at this hour. Explain to us what's happening.
Yeah, just a little bit of light activity around town right now. Some heavier downpours and thunderstorms southwest of San Antonio, especially when you get down south down I-35. Frio County in particular here. This is just northwest of Pearsall along Highway 57 west of Bigfoot and more. Some good soaking heavy rainfall. That's what this is. This is good for the moisture, or good for the pastures out there, good for the ranches as well. Very beneficial moisture that we're seeing. A few thunderstorms as you get into Dimmitt, LaSalle, McMullen counties. And this is key because this is part of our area that has the worst drought right now. And we'll continue to see these downpours coming and going through the night. You get up into the hill country, just a few hit or miss showers. And again, these continue to come and go. Near Sabinal, a little bit of lightning. Luckily, we're not expecting anything severe. A few cracks of thunder, flashes of lightning may wake you up later on tonight or in the early morning hours. But rest assured, we're not expecting any large hail or damaging winds. Locally, this is all very light activity. It's still some moisture out there, so it's good. It's just not as soaking as it was earlier today, particularly from about 281 and 410 eastward through Windcrest all the way to I-10 and 1604. That's where we have some light to moderate ongoing rain. And finally, as you look at the laps here, the west side of town that missed out on the rain earlier today got hit with some of these showers this evening. And if you didn't get a whole lot or you weren't satisfied, don't worry. We have more opportunities. And I do anticipate more off and on showers through the night and even into the morning commute. So that brings up a whole nother topic here. Expect the potential for delays during the morning commute as a result of the areas of rain. Not everybody's going to be seeing it at the same time. That's why we've got that 60% coverage, but scattered in nature, coming and going through the morning commute and then tapering off by the noon hour. Wait till you see some of these rainfall accumulations and big differences over a short span. We're going to break it down in just a bit.
All right, Adam, thank you. You know, we're not just talking about that. We're also talking about power outages at this hour. CPS Energy reported about 1,700 customers lost power earlier today. But, you know, crews did make progress. They brought it down to about 30 customers an hour ago. But hold on, because just as we're seeing more rain, we're also seeing more outages. Right now, there are about 260 customers that don't have power as of 10 o'clock tonight. Now, from outages to flooding, we've also been tracking areas that are prone to flooding.
Yeah, crews have been busy all day trying to make sure the roads are clear. Take a look at some of the video taken at the 410-281 overpass on the north side. You can see workers trying to clear pooling water off some of the lanes. Traffic was able to get by. There are just some spots in San Antonio that are notorious for flooding. That includes the Almost Basin area. The night team's Lee Waldman is there. All right, Lee, a portion of Jones Maltsberger has been closed since this afternoon. I'm guessing that's exactly where you are.
You are exactly right, Steve. Good intuition there. We're right off of Bassey Road here at Jones Maltsberger. I want to go ahead and show you over my shoulder. This is Jones Maltsberger, closed off heading into the Almost Park area. Now, this is a lot calmer than what we saw this afternoon when one of those downpours was coming over our area. There's some minor ponding still on the roadway here, but those gates really up as a precaution just in case the Almost Creek starts to rise up toward that bridge again. But you heard Adam Caskey say it. More rain is on the way tonight, but a lot of people who live around here say this is a welcome sign.
Much needed rain led to some problems around parts of San Antonio this afternoon. Jones-Maltsberger at Bassey Road closed. Water rushing across the road, forcing drivers to turn around as Almost Creek nearly reached the bridge.
They close that when it drizzles. No matter what happens, they close the basin.
We found several people taking advantage of the break in the rain to walk their dogs. They say the wet weather has its benefits.
To get rid of all that pollen that's making us all feel so yucky.
I actually have one of those pier and beam houses, and they shift in the rain a great deal, and I hardly been able to get my back door shut because it shifted so much during the dry weather. So now I can even tell that I'm going to be able to get the back door open probably after this hard rain.
There are some tools at your disposal. Bexar County has a live interactive map that shows you which of those low water crossings are closed. You can find that by heading to bearfloods.org. And as always, if you come up to a roadway that has water across the road, take the easiest precaution you can. Turn around and don't drown. Live at Bassey Road near Jones-Maltsberger, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
There's a reason that's an adage. Lee, thank you. Now, when you have weather like today, you want to know what to expect. You need to know what to expect. So, just download our Weather Authority app. You can use it to track radar live and also watch forecasts. Speaking of, meteorologist Adam Caskey is going to join us again in about 10 minutes.
Now to the border. A restriction used to turn away asylum seekers will remain in place at least for now. Title 42 set to end on May 23rd, but a federal judge in Louisiana stopping that from happening. The Biden administration pointed out Title 42 is a health provision, not an immigration policy. The provision cites the pandemic for the health order. The White House says the Homeland Security Secretary is set to testify before Congress this week. Today's ruling comes as several Republican lawmakers take a tour of the border. They were in Eagle Pass as they learned the body of a missing Texas National Guardsman was recovered.
Earlier today, Border Patrol were able to recover the body of Specialist Bishop Evans, and it just feels like a gloomy, sad day. And I know we're unified in ensuring that we are going to honor Specialist Bishop Evans.
The Maverick County Sheriff says Bishop Evans jumped into the Rio Grande to try and help a migrant woman who appeared to be drowning. Bishop is from Arlington, served in the Guard for nearly 2 years.
Now, new tonight, a program meant to pair service dogs with veterans is coming under scrutiny. Voters in San Antonio will decide if more than $2 million in bond money should go to Canines for Warriors.
Now, critics say that group has an abysmal track record in San Antonio. They say they shouldn't be on the bond proposal to begin with. So the Night Team's Dylan Collier digs into the complaints in this Defenders report.
At a Northside park recently, we met Sarge, Chief, and Bart Sherwood.
Come here, come on.
Who 12 years ago founded Train a Dog, Save a Warrior, a San Antonio-based nonprofit that provides service animals and training to military veterans free of charge. But Sherwood's praise of programs like his does not extend to the nation's largest provider of service dogs, Canines for Warriors.
I kind of think that they're utilizing the veteran more as a prop than as a real beneficiary of what their program is.
The Florida-based nonprofit routinely brings in over $10 million a year in contributions and grants. Since 2019, it's had a presence here in San Antonio, leasing more than 3 acres of city land next to animal care services. According to Canines for Warriors, dogs are transferred from ACS and other local agencies to its San Antonio facility for care and training before being matched with veterans nationwide.
I think when you start the retailing of service dogs to other areas rather than where they're supposed to be, especially if you've got a bond that's building the facility for the training of that dog, what is the benefit to San Antonio?
It's a project that aims to reduce euthanizations among large-sized dogs while also reducing veteran suicides. Local voters will decide whether to give Canines for Warriors $2.25 million in bond money, which would then be matched by the nonprofit to construct a second building on the property, more than doubling its number of kennels. San Antonio resident Shannon St. Cyr says council signed off on a possible expansion of the dog program without a proper vetting of what it's done in San Antonio to date.
It's not surprising to me, these people on city council and how they're spending our money. They're just not good stewards of San Antonio taxpayer money.
So who introduced San Antonio to Canines for Warriors? It was this man, District 8 City Councilman Manny Pelaez, whose friendship with the nonprofit CEO Rory Diamond dates back to their time together in the 2017 Presidential Leadership Scholars Program.
We found an innovative way to pull hundreds of dogs from the possibility of euthanization and put them in the hands of veterans all over the country for the purpose of preventing their suicides.
Communication records show Pelaez was the driving force behind bringing the program here, setting Diamond's itinerary for a visit in 2018 and introducing him in 2019 to the attorney the nonprofit later hired. Last year, Pelaez texted Diamond that they should bring on board lobbyist Aaron Bly, who, sure enough, registered with the city 11 days later to represent Canines for Warriors. Pelaez defended his cozy relationship with Diamond, a city councilman in Jacksonville, Florida, saying Canines for Warriors is head and shoulders above similar service dog groups.
There aren't any other local organizations that were ready to pull dogs and help solve the euthanization problem at the same scale that this organization was going to do, right?
In October, the organization told San Antonio City Manager Eric Walsh over 100 shelter dogs had been rescued to date in partnership with Animal Care Services. By December, in a memo sent to facilities bond committee members, Deputy City Manager Maria Villagomez had reduced that figure to just 60. Canines for Warriors officials now concede from 2019 to the end of 2021, they transferred 71 dogs out of ACS, only 19 of which were deemed suitable for the program. All, as Pelaez contends, the charity is hitting its marks and exceeding expectations here, despite a lease agreement which calls on the nonprofit to make good faith efforts to transfer 200 dogs from ACS each year.
The data does not back up any of that. They have not met the mark in terms of number of transfers in the lease agreement, which should be 200 per year, and it hasn't been hundreds of dogs, though. So why say that publicly during a council meeting?
Because it's true, right? Because the world changed post-COVID. Despite that blip, I think that they did a stellar job.
Tomorrow on the Nightbeat, you will meet the head of Canines for Warriors. Councilman Rory Diamond defends his program as critics levy concerns about the charity's role in San Antonio. For the Defenders, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
Again, part 2 of Dylan's story tomorrow night on the Nightbeat at 10. By the way, early voting for the proposed bond started today. It runs through May 3rd. Election Day is Saturday, May 7th.
Still ahead on the Nightbeat, a break-in at a local business. What the shop owner says the suspects left behind that could help investigators.
Plus, a South Texas mother granted a reprieve from execution for now, the ruling that changes the Melissa Lucio murder case. We hear from her son coming up.
Also, we're keeping an eye on the radar and also the rain in our area. You will get an update on your full forecast coming up on the Nightbeat.
An execution delayed for a South Texas woman, Melissa Lucio, will have a chance to show a court new evidence in her case. Today, her son spoke after an appeals court granted that execution stay.
We're just one big old team, putting up the fight for my mother, Melissa Elizabeth Lucio. Today, we got the great news. She got a stay of execution, and she won't be heading to Huntsville Wednesday.
Lucio's execution was scheduled for Wednesday. This after a jury convicted her in the death of her 2-year-old daughter in Harlingen. There are growing doubts in that verdict, though, even among some of the jurors who sentenced her to death. Support from celebrities and lawmakers have led to a national coverage of this case, and now a lower court will review claims of new evidence in that case that could exonerate her.
A San Antonio business owner is trying to reopen his shop just days after a break-in. So we want to show you all the mess that was left inside of Boomtown Sports Cards and Collectibles on Saturday. Look at that. The owner of the shop on Bandera Road says that the vandals used that brick inside of a pillowcase in order to get in, and they stole $20,000 to $25,000 worth of memorabilia.
I feel like they knew what they were going to take already, because they took certain things. So they might have been here before and kind of scouted the place out, because, like I said, they took certain things that is worth the most money, the most expensive boxes.
You just heard from Victor Nava. He says that he noticed some hairs on the pillowcase that was left behind. So, yeah, San Antonio police are investigating, but they have not released any information on suspects. Now, as for the plan for the store, the owner plans to reopen Boomtown Thursday afternoon. Of course, we wish him lots of luck.
Absolutely. Let's hope they find the people that broke in. All right, live cam right now. We're at I-10 taking a live look, and, things seem to have calmed down here, but even if you look off in the distance, I think I saw some lightning out there.
Well, and we've got one cell in Atascosa County that's just misbehaving right now. Most of what we have out there is garden variety, just good beneficial rain. We've got this one that just decided to start dropping some hail, and this is basically near Charlotte. I'm going to focus on this right now. The black part in particular indicates some of the biggest returns to the radar, and that's likely where we have a hail core with the potential of ping pong ball size hail within this thunderstorm. This is the exception out there, and we're not expecting to see a lot of this, or even, I'd be surprised if we see even another severe thunderstorm as we go through the night within our area. But let's time this out, particularly just the hail core there, indicated in black. And it's moving to the northeast, about 25 miles per hour. So there we have it there. Jourdanton at 10:33 p.m., Jourdanton High School, same time. Pleasanton High School about 10:43 p.m. Pleasanton within the city about 10:45. That's the general rough estimate of when that hail within this thunderstorm could make it there. That's assuming that this stays together. It does look like that hail core starting to shrink just a little bit, but nonetheless still poses the threat for large hail and damaging hail. And if we get a different look, a different vantage point of this, get the three-dimensional view. I like this because you get a little slice of the thunderstorm. And once you get into it, you see those blacks that reach all the way up into the storm. You see the lightning striking as well. This black color, that indicates right there you have it, the hail within that storm. Okay, that's what we have there. As for rainfall totals, unfortunately, we had this severe thunderstorm warning just pop up on us, so I can't get into too many of those. But there was a 2-inch difference in Stone Oak from west of 281 to east of 281. Evans Road east of 281, 2.5, 3 inches. Closer to Camp Bullis, about a ½ inch. At the airport so far, about 0.7 of an inch. Temperatures in the 60s right now. We had the cold front move through, even some 50s already in the hill country. Bandera, Comfort, 58 degrees, Bulverde, 60. Converse right now, 63, and Stinson at 67. Tomorrow morning, right near 60, obviously some mid-50s in the hill country, but around San Antonio, a damp morning commute near 60, then by the afternoon, upper 60s right near 70 degrees. Most of the rain will be off and on tonight through the morning drive tomorrow. Then it tapers off. Northeasterly breeze at 10 to 15, a cloudy and cool rest of the day tomorrow. We gradually warm up near 80 Wednesday, 85 Thursday, and by Friday, up to 90 degrees, and a chance of some pop-up storms Saturday afternoon.
We'll need a couple days to dry out.
This is a perfect rain.
Exactly. I love it.
We needed it. All right, so Greg, DeJounte did not win the award for most improved NBA player, so who did?
He did not, but in my own personal opinion, he should have, especially with the 13 triple-doubles. But that honor went to another Western Conference foe. When we come back, more about the NBA's awarding the most improved player, and another investigation is now facing the Washington Commanders. Coming up. San Antonio Spurs All-Star DeJounte Murray has missed out on becoming the NBA's most improved player. That title goes to Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies. Murray, who became an All-Star for the first time in his career, came in second to Morant, even after totaling 13 triple-doubles this season to improve his career total to 18 overall. But Morant was also first-time NBA All-Star this season with career highs, including in points, 27.4. Now, here's a look at the voting. You see Ja Morant wins with 221 overall points next to Murray, who finished with 183. Celtics have a chance to knock out the Nets up 3 games to none heading into game 4 tonight at the Barclays Center. Boston control in the fourth quarter. Jason Tatum throws it down in transition. Two of his team had 29 points, but Tatum fouled out with less than 3 minutes to play, and the Nets took advantage. Kevin Durant gets a running floater to fall. Durant scored a game-high 39 points, but with Brooklyn down by 2 late, Durant misses a free throw. The Celtics answered on the other end with a tip-in from Al Horford that seals it. Boston wins it 116-112, knocks the Nets out of the playoffs with a sweep. Elsewhere in the Eastern Conference, 76ers hosting the Raptors in Game 5, looking to end their series, but there's a hole in the fourth quarter here. Joel Embiid gets the shot to fall, count it, and one. Only 20 points tonight for the big man, and Toronto was just as good. OG Anunoby drives for the Tomahawk Jam. Raptors had 5 scores, finish in double figures, and they stave off elimination once again, 103-88. Philadelphia still leads that series 3-2.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The Attorney General's Office of Virginia will open an investigation into allegations that the Washington Commanders engaged in financial improprieties that cost consumers $5 million and shielded revenue from the league. That's according to an email sent to the NFL team today following an investigation by the U.S. House Oversight and Reform Committee. During an appearance before that committee, former Commanders employee Jason Friedman claimed the team kept 2 sets of books before he was fired in 2020 after 24 years with the team. Friedman accused the team of withholding security deposits from season ticket holders. The team is calling Friedman's accusations false and call him a disgruntled employee. The NFL holds its annual draft starting at 7 this Thursday night, live right here on KSAT 12. And the Dallas Cowboys' first pick will be at number 24 overall. And most experts believe the Cowboys will use that pick to select an offensive lineman after losing both Connor Williams and La'el Collins, who signed with the Dolphins and the Bengals respectively. And the name being mentioned the most in the mock drafts is Kenyon Green of the Fighting Texas Aggies. What is very interesting is the Cowboys also had the 56th pick over on the second round. The name being mentioned there is an Aggie teammate and former Judson Rocket, DeMarvin Leal, who fills another need for the Cowboys in either a defensive end or tackle. The Cowboys have 9 picks overall, and while it's not normal to use one of those picks for a kicker, Dallas just might have to do that this year. They have released Greg Zuerlein after Greg the Leg missed a career-high 6 extra points last year, and one name that pops up at the Longhorns, Cameron Dicker, in the 6th round. Meantime, the Houston Texans are loaded with draft picks to help rebuild a team that finished with back-to-back 4-win seasons while trading off their quarterback Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. The Texans will have 11 picks overall. That includes the 3rd overall pick and the 13th overall selection in the first round, thanks to the Watson trade, and 5 in the top 80 to help reload. Like the Cowboys, the Texans have needs on the offensive line to help protect Davis Mills going forward after he was sacked a total of 31 times in 13 games he played in. Evan Neal out of Alabama is a name that pops up for number 3 pick, and at the number 13, edge rusher Jermaine Johnson II out of Florida State. The Texans also have a huge need at running back. They could use one of those 5 selections in the top 80 to pick one. James Cook out of Georgia is a good possibility. And it looks like the number 1 overall draft pick this year will go to Georgia defensive end Trayvon Walker. He is the odds-on favorite, according to Las Vegas sports books, to have that honor. Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan was thought to be the consensus overall number 1 pick, but now it's Walker. That doesn't mean the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take Walker with the first pick on Thursday, just what the betting odds are. Young Davenport High School already has a student-athlete state-bound. Next.
I'm really excited. It means a lot. I've worked really hard for this and finally seeing like a reward for it, and it's really exciting.
A big surprise today at Davenport High School as Mason McKinley got a send-off. She was not expecting this. She heads to the state tennis tournament tomorrow, being held at the Anne Marie Tennis Courts. McKinley is the first state qualifier from Davenport, which is just in his 2nd year as a program. The sophomore will be competing in the Class 4A girls singles competition tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. She is one of 23 area tennis players competing across Class 4A, 5A, and 6A competition. Registration now underway for the first annual Lieutenant Colonel Hector Villarreal Memorial Golf Tournament, May 23rd, Silverhorn Golf Club. Player check-in starts at 6:30 in the morning. Shotgun start featuring a Florida Scramble will begin at 7:45 a.m. with an award ceremony to follow. We'll leave it up to you a little bit longer here so you can capture that QR code at the top right-hand corner of your screen. This will benefit the San Antonio Coalition for Veterans and Families. And happy birthday to 5-time NBA champion, 3-time Finals MVP, 2-time NBA MVP, 15-time All-Star Tim Duncan, who turns 46 years old today in San Antonio. It just doesn't seem that long ago. We were sitting in front of the Alamo interviewing Tim after he was the number 1 draft pick. It just doesn't seem that long ago.
I still remember being in the newsroom when the Spurs won the lottery and yelling, Duncan, Duncan.
And it stuck with him.
Wow.
Happy birthday to him. We'll be right back.
That's it for the Night Beat.
It's been a pleasure having you with us. Stay dry. Have a wonderful night.
See you tomorrow.